things off with our predictions and first thoughts from seeing the War of the Spark preview trailer.
That's right. In case you haven't seen it yet, it pans around this tower with 36, I believe is the number, stained glass windows featuring all of the planeswalkers that we know. And then we go inside and there's a giant candle chandelier.
Chandelier, if you will.
Which is not safe. I just want to put that out there. Not safe for your home. But very cool in the video. And the candles one by one go out till there's just one remaining.
And the smoke rising from the last candle is the horns of Nicol Bolas.
So, Greg, what do you think?
I just want to say that I think this trailer is beautiful. I think it's one of the best trailers that they've ever made. I think it's not, some of them are so cheesy, no offense, but as someone who like knows what's going on pretty well, there's like this kind of like weird card animation that looks a little off with like a weird voiceover of like, the Gruul are the guild that attack everything. And you're like, okay. But like, this was like eerie and cryptic and like simultaneously told me nothing about the set, but got me incredibly hyped about the set. I am so excited to play it. I don't normally care about the story, but I'm really curious to see what actually happens.
Wow.
And so this trailer really did it for me. I saw some people criticizing it online, and I have no idea what they were thinking about, because I think this trailer was beautiful and the best trailer they've ever done.
Maria,
yeah,
thoughts?
I have the exact same thoughts as Greg. I thought it was wonderfully done in the past. Yeah, I felt like the trailers were a little bit on the budget side. Well, like maybe they weren't cheap, but they came across a little bit that way, I think, a little bit campy, if you will. This was wonderful. It looked like it could have been for a film like the next Harry Potter movie, something like that. The beautiful
Harry
stained
Potter
glass.
and the War of the Spark.
I mean, seriously, it looked like we were going into Hogwarts.
It did.
But the stained glass planeswalkers on the windows, really hyped. We've talked a little bit about like, oh, maybe this set will have more planeswalkers than usual. Maybe there'll be a planeswalker in every pack is a prediction we threw out there. That was like a lower power level. Maybe we'll see that art on the cards. That's my big fingers crossed.
Yeah, so I saw a thing that someone asked Mark Rosewater about this, and he said that the stained glass art is from the set, but it got like stained glassified. So in the set, it doesn't appear like stained glass art.
Drat.
Which is really sad. I think a masterpiece series of the stained glass art would have been beautiful and amazing. But it sounds like that's not happening. But it does sound like all that art is from the set. I think a lot of people are thinking there might be 30 plus planeswalkers in the set. I am skeptical of this.
What a design challenge.
I mean, seriously.
And Mark Rosewater always talks about how the design space for planeswalkers is so limited, which is one of the reasons they only do 2 to 3 per set, because they like can only do so much cool stuff on planeswalkers. If they were to have to make 30 plus planeswalkers for this set,
but what would that mean? Say you had to do that. What would that mean?
That's true. Restrictions do breed creativity, as he likes to say. They'd probably have to make some sweet planeswalkers, maybe some at rare, maybe even some at uncommon.
And he has said on his blog before that a downshift in rarity for planeswalkers is not an if, but a when.
That is a good point. He has said that. So I don't know. And I could see it going either way. I could see them happening. I could see them not happening. Like all the planeswalkers, that is. I could see them as legendary creatures because they lost their spark.
I was going to say, that's my prediction, is that we're going to see some iconic planeswalkers who travel to Ravnica to try and help with whatever is going on or fight on either side and then lose their sparks and we see them as creatures.
I think the idea is that they're getting drawn to Ravnica. That's why they're
they just
all
get
there.
pulled there.
He has some sort of vacuum.
A magnet.
A magical vacuum.
Yeah. I think
whatchamacallit that Tezzeret made.
The thing, the planar bridge?
The thing that
The planar bridge.
Well,
yes.
isn't the point of the planar bridge that it can bring all the Amonkhet zombies to the plane?
But what if it also helps? Or the Immortal Sun?
The Immortal Sun is what traps them there. See, it's like, I think they've done a good job setting this up. The other thing about the
story now.
Yeah, the other thing about the trailer that I liked is it felt full of Easter eggs. Like, it felt like I didn't get everything, but once I know the War and the Spark like what happens, I'll go back and watch the trailer and be like, oh, like this was referencing this. Like, it was a little like cryptic and mysterious. And I feel like we haven't fully figured it out.
Meghan, let's talk a little bit more about the chandelier and the one flame left at the end. What does this mean to you?
Okay, so we've speculated that it means that there will only be one planeswalker left.
Yeah.
You believe it is Nicol Bolas.
I do.
You think that he is going
notably-
to snuff out everyone else's sparks?
Notably, there's one candle in the middle that's like bigger than all the rest.
Exactly, and
that
that's
is
not the one
that survives.
See, I agree with Greg because as I was watching them all go out, I was waiting for it to be that big one in the center that stayed, but that one got snuffed out too.
Okay, well, if they're all snuffed and one is left, who's the unsnuffed?
Ooh, wow! Isn't it just the question?
This is the question.
The question.
Jace, probably. Right?
Ugh.
It's got to be Jace.
I'm sorry, but it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Why? Why does it have to be?
He's the Mickey Mouse of magic. He's the main character.
He can go.
He has more plot armor than any other character.
I think that everyone who follows anything Disney would agree with me here. Mickey Mouse can die.
Wow.
Hot take.
Okay, I think so. One big question for me coming into War of the Spark is Nicol Bolas gonna win or is Nicol Bolas gonna lose?
That's the really big question.
If he loses, it's like, okay, there have been like 4 blocks of lead up towards this battle. All of Ixalan, all of Amonkhet, all of Kaladesh was building up towards this battle. And now, like, for him to come and the Gatewatch to just be like, we're the Gatewatch, you lose, would be really disappointing, in my opinion. If Nicol Bolas wins,
that's sweet. I think
that would be really sweet. But what would it mean for Magic going forward?
It would mean there's no more Planeswalkers.
All of our beloved characters and our favorite card type of Planeswalker, or many people's favorite card type, is trapped on Ravnica. So like that's maybe bad. So what if maybe like one person, say Jace, escapes?
Here's my thought. Okay,
go.
One, I was thinking about. One of like the philosophical questions that this trailer made me think of is like, where do sparks come from?
Yeah.
Right? Because
we don't know that, right?
I mean, they've taught, like, we get the stories of how sparks are ignited under great pressure.
Yeah.
When
Much
things
like
happen.
a diamond.
Exactly. Sparks are the diamonds of minerals. Anyways, diamonds are the Planeswalker sparks of minerals. Okay, moving on. But still, we don't really know. Where does it come from? Is it something that is always in a person and is waiting to ignite? And like everyone has one, and some people will just never ignite. Is it that only some people have them? Is it something that like maybe they came into contact with something at some point and that's how they got it?
Isn't this what like original Mirrodin was about? Because there was that goblin Slowbad who like gained a spark for like 30 seconds. They like tried to create an artificial, like Memnarch, big bad Memnarch, like tried to create an artificial spark and like put it in Slowbad, and he was a planeswalker for like 30 seconds. And then I actually don't know what ended up happening.
Yeah.
But I think they like tried to make an artificial spark and it didn't work out.
Exactly.
Because,
like alchemy.
But that doesn't answer where it comes from.
I think you're just born with it.
I think it's like the midi-chlorians.
Wow.
We're going down a deep, dark rabbit hole here.
Okay, but
with a bad movie at the end.
but I was thinking about how you all remember when Chandra killed 2 of the 3 Titans back in Battle for Zendikar.
Yep.
Yes.
And she did that by channeling like other Planeswalkers' mana, right? So part of me is thinking about, we look at War of the Spark and that sounds like other like Planeswalkers are getting theirs snuffed out. But what if what happens is that a bunch of Planeswalkers sacrifice their sparks so that one other Planeswalker has the ability to fight Nicol Bolas?
Wow.
Ooh, that's a great thought.
And as cool as it would be to be someone we knew, what if it was someone random?
Yes.
What if it was like Arlen Cord?
I would
and like
love if it was Arlen
shows up
Cord.
and they're like, Arlen Cord, I know we haven't seen you for 4 years, but you're our only hope.
Arlen
And
Cord,
everyone
you are the
channels
new
together.
Mickey
You're
Mouse
the new
of
Jace.
magic.
You're the new Jace. Here's your crown.
I would love it if Arlen Cord
I
was
think
the
that
new
would be
Jace.
very cool, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I do think it would be cool.
Here's my question.
Team Arlen.
Can we get Elspeth back? Can Elspeth
What if it was Elspeth?
undie to
Elspeth
get
would be great.
to get back
Maybe
to Ravnica?
everyone loses their spark, and then Elspeth back on Theros somehow comes back from the underworld, and she's the only planeswalker who can save the day.
I would love that.
I would
So then
love
she
that.
somehow learns about this, travels to Ravnica, and has to single-handedly free all the planeswalkers and take down Nicol Bolas.
Wow.
But they all lose or sacrifice their sparks in the process. So next set that comes out, the only planeswalker that exists is Elspeth. And like we just have to play normal old school versions of Magic.
But also, if we're talking about where sparks come from, I mean, if Planeswalker sparks are getting extinguished, is it extinguishing the source of all sparks, or is it just the sparks that have been ignited up until now, and we will get more sparks in the future?
yeah, unknown, I think about that.
There's a lot of questions, a lot of speculation out there.
Yes.
You should, if you have a Planeswalker that you want to take down Nicol Bolas in the end to be the one survivor, you can tweet at GLHF Magic, hashtag team whatever your Planeswalker is.
I love it.
So we can get some hashtag team Arland, hashtag team Elspeth, hashtag team Tybalt.
Okay, everyone pick your hashtag team right now, each of us.
Wow, we've got there's
Hashtag Team
36.
Tybalt. Hot take, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of heat for that. Who's
Appropriate.
My favorite Planeswalker has always been Elspeth. And this story
love
that
Elspeth.
we told
She's great.
of Elspeth coming back and winning
Yeah.
the day just like filled me with so much hope. And so I am going to be on hashtag Team Elspeth. I think it's a stretch, but I love the narrative we just spun.
I think no matter what, that narrative is going to be the best thing that comes out of this. This one we just made up.
Yes. Maria.
Liliana is my favorite Planeswalker. I love her backstory, and I love her deal with selling her soul essentially to try and to all of these demons and trying to fight her way through that. And she just wanted to save her brother, and in fact, she just doomed him. I think that's pretty cool. However, I don't think she'll be chosen.
I don't know. She's gotten a lot of character development in the story recently, and they put a lot of effort into her character. So we could see that pay off. And she's been like switching sides a bunch. So it'd be interesting if like she was the one left and she had to pick her side at the end of the day.
And you know what? Yeah. I do love her, and I feel that she has so much good in her that is kind of glossed over in the story because the reason for her, turn or whatever was from a good reason.
Yeah.
And for trying to save her brother's life. So I would love to see her come back over into kind of being, good again. That's never going to happen. Anyway, I'll be hashtag Team Liliana.
And we know Megan's on Team Jace, so.
So just pack it in. Just pack it in.
I'm sorry for what I said about Mickey Mouse earlier, everyone. I just want to go back and apologize for that. Anyways, I do love blue. So I'm going to be hashtag, here's my deep cut.
Ooh, deep cut.
Team Tameo.
I love
Tameo.
it. I love
Hashtag Team Tameo. She's so good. She's just a little researcher.
Yeah.
Doing her good research.
Yeah.
I
would
like
also
Tameo.
love to watch that.
Yeah.
Also, before we end this Planeswalker conversation,
Yeah.
the elephant in the room, how weird would like limited be? If there were just a million Planeswalkers all around.
It would be
It'd be
so
so
weird.
What an
strange.
odd set.
And it would not be a good introductory
be
set.
very weird.
You would not want to start playing Magic during that
No.
set.
Yeah, and usually, like, don't they make a lot of money off people being like, I really want a Planeswalker. I'm going to open packs until I get one.
And then you just get some
And you just, like,
underpowered rare
easily get
Planeswalker.
one, like-
I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be so weird. The board states would be super confusing. That's why I don't think that it's going to happen. But
I like what we landed on of us seeing legendary creatures
Yeah, I
that
like
were
that
once
too.
Planeswalkers.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone was saying there could be, like, they could undo the flip cards. It used to be legendary creatures that flip into Planeswalkers, but now they could be Planeswalkers who lose their spark
And
and
flip.
flip into legendary
Ooh.
creatures.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah,
I like that.
the Garrick Once Upon a Time that was a flip card Planeswalker on both sides, and it was once his loyalty went below a certain level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think we've solved it, everyone.
Yeah, we've definitely solved it. I'm super excited to see what
Hashtag
happens.
Team Tybalt.
By the way, speaking of this, I just really quickly want to get your thoughts, Greg, on a pre-release Grand Prix for Mythic Championship London.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard, they've announced that for Mythic Championship London, it's going to be a pre-release Grand Prix, which has a lot of connotations, and I've seen some people frustrated about it. But I have to say, as someone who my two favorite tournaments are limited Grand Prix and pre-releases, I am beyond excited for Mythic Championship
It's like
London.
your birthday.
It's exactly. And like I'm not queued for the Mythic Championship there, but all of my close friends are. So I was already thinking of going so I could just be there with my friends and play in the GP. But now it's a cool, unique GP that puts together two things that I love. I am so excited to go to London, even if I don't end up qualifying for the Pro Tour.
Yeah, just
Nice.
sitting down, pre-release, crack the packs. What are you going to get?
Yeah, who knows? And like, if you make the top 8 draft, that's going to be the weirdest draft ever.
That's
'Cause
true.
it has such huge stakes and no one's ever drafted it before. What?
Very cool.
What? You will be able to draft it for a couple of days on Arena.
That's true.
So you'll have that.
You will have maybe some arena draft.
They did say it will come out 2 days before the pre-release, the same
Wow.
as this last set did.
And if you didn't know that news, you must not be listening to The Upkeep.
That's right.
Which is Good Luck High Five's hot news show that comes out every Monday. 10 minutes or less. We give you all the MTG news you need to know. And there's even now an Alexa skill for
Yes.
it. Thanks to a really wonderful listener who went out of their way to make it. You can add it and it will be part of your morning update every morning.
Pretty cool.
Not every morning, but when there's a new one.
When there's a new one.
Every morning,
Every
it'll
day.
just play you the same 10 minutes.
Only on the Mondays, everyone. Or excuse me, it'll be Tuesday morning, so
Yeah.
only when there's a new one when you ask for your morning flash briefing.